Hey everyone, welcome to another let's call it like an info video, right? It's not exactly a reaction, it's not exactly anything else. It's basically me trying like starting up a discussion, talk about what's been going on in the month of gaming for this October November because I've been out for like a couple of weeks because of the whole moving, as I've been stating in the previous videos. Um, we finished playing Spider-Man. We finished the whole story campaign about a day or two back, and we're going to focus on what's next and catch up on some of the things which you've missed in the meantime, right? So let's dive right into it, right? So, first of all, Mortal Kombat 1, right? The combat patch has started. They have released Omni-Man. As you can see, Omni-Man is now part of the roster. You guys would have seen the trailers, the gameplay reveal trailers. I don't need to go into depth about it. But Omni-Man is officially here, Ultimate Warrior. And it makes sense, they have this whole timeline thing going on, multiple timelines that coexist, so anyone can make their way to the MK universe at this point, right? So Omni-Man, Ultimate Warrior, Norman Grayson, better known as a superhero Omni-Man, long fought to protect his adopted home as one of Earth's most powerful champions. He even raised his son, the hero known as Invincible, to follow in his footsteps and carry on his legacy. But Omni-Man's true mission was never benevolence, it was conquest, and the Ultimate Empire, hungry for expansion, has no intention of stopping that Earthrealm. Right, so that's Omni-Man joining the fray, and in addition to that, we get one of the newest cameo fighters, which is Tremor. And as you can see from all this gameplay, I'm going to mute the volume as I'm going to talk over it. So, as expected, I kind of suspected this when I first reacted to this to the gameplay reveal trailer. So Tremor is going to have all three of his variations from MKX, which is Crystalline, Metallic, and Aftershock, and you'll be able to switch. I thought initially it could be three different Tremors as cameos, but yeah, that sounded silly. Anyway, so you get uh, all three variations of his in a single cameo selection. So there was a proper gameplay video done by the Combat Cast. You guys can go check it out. So basically, that's what's new in MK. So Omni-Man and Tremor has been added to the rosters, respectively. And as well as in MK1, the season 2 of Combat League has also started as well. So in season 1 we had the Scorpion invasion timeline. So it's basically a Titan Scorpion invading the current timeline. And right now I think it's Nitara. It's like a zombie version of the MK universe invading the current timeline. So I still need to play that and you get started on it, see what's new. Actually just test out the new patches and stuff, see but I'm not going to dive deep into it. So that's been what's been happening in the world of MK. Moving on, Alan Wake released in late October. We missed that completely. We have the launch trailer. We're going to check out the launch trailer right now. Let's check out what it is.
The killer left the heart next to the body. This wasn't some random act of violence. This was a ritual. A page of text written with a typewriter. Someone's been watching us.
How do you run from an idea? From a story that lives in your head? I need to escape this nightmare.
Wake says the story will change reality around us. Why are we written into the story?
Ooh.
I brought you the heart witch. Show me the terror.
Show me the terror.
Oof, proper chills. Pre-order deluxe edition. Well, we didn't pre-order. We couldn't get that. Um. So yeah, that's pretty much Alan Wake 2 for you. I've already seen like a lot of people talking about the game. I mean, not a lot, but there are a few reviews about it and all this. I'm gonna avoid those for now. Still, I can play the game and fully experience it. I did play Alan Wake 1. Thought it was like a kind of like a very niche. It belonged to a very niche category of its own, right? It's like a shooter, puzzle solving, horror game. Um, yeah, it fell into kind of like a niche of its own, and I thoroughly did enjoy it because I think at that time it was kind of like I felt like it was a way ahead of its time, right? Because it introduced us to like a whole new set of things. Um, so yeah, so I can't remember exactly much that happened. Like I know he was looking for his wife and everything. You finally rescue her, but then you get trapped in the book universe. I remember like you being trapped in the end and your wife getting out. She comes out of the lake, and yeah, that's where it ends, right? It's been basically you trying to rescue your wife, and then when the director kind of like talked about this in Gamescom, or was it E3 or somewhere in one of the showcases, they talked about Alan being trapped in this book universe and this FBI agent, can't remember her name. So she's in the real world. It's basically you're controlling the both of them in both worlds and then solving puzzles as you go along the way, which I think is quite neat. Um have had other games do similar things like this, but yeah, excited to see where the story goes exactly. What exactly is the overall plot in this? We know that there's a cult involved and stuff like that, but yeah. Pretty excited. I think yeah, this is going to be the next game that I'm going to start. Um, I really don't have any expectations for this. I'm not expecting it to have. I'm not sure whether it's going to be a super groundbreaking story or something with proper character development or things like that. Because I remember the first one, there was it was just a very interesting shooter. It had some proper shooting elements and fights and stuff like that. That's what I remember. Story wise, I was okay with it, but not too captivated. Nothing. So yeah, nothing like like a God of War story or a Spider-Man 2 story or anything like that, right? So yeah, that's Alan Wake for you. And then the next thing, and this is super awesome. This is really cool, which is the announcement of GTA 6. Right, this is amazing. Uh, when did GTA 5 come? I can't even remember. It was over a decade ago, wasn't it? Close to a decade. So, message from Rockstar Games. This came in November 8th, so a couple of days back. Next month marks the 25th anniversary of Rockstar Games. Thanks to the incredible support of our players worldwide. I mean, you guys did run with the GTA 5 online for, I think, far too long, right? In terms of GTA, I was always invested in the single player element of it, right? No matter how goofy the game tended to be, I thought it had like some really good stories at times. I mean, like I especially loved. I mean, like everybody loves San Andreas, right? Everybody loves. But I thought the stories of each one was quite unique and it was quite good, right? I enjoyed GTA 3, like everything in the 3D era. I enjoyed 3D GTA 3, Vice City, Liberty, Liberty City. How did it come? It was Vice City. It was GTA 3, then Vice City, then uh, then I think it was San Andreas and then Liberty City Stories. Was it that way? Or Liberty City Stories and then San Andreas. Anyway, and then GTA 4, then the modern era. GTA 4, GTA 5, San Andreas, and then yeah, so on. So in 1998, Rockstar Games were founded on the idea that video games could come to be as an essential to the culture as any other form of entertainment, and we hope that we have created games you love in our efforts to be part of that evolution. We are very excited to let you know that in early December we will release the first trailer of the next Grand Theft Auto. We look forward to many more years of sharing these experiences with you. Thank you, Sam Hauser. So this is incredible. We are finally getting a new GTA. because I am sick and tired of them releasing stuff for GTA 5 online. Day after day after day, year after year after year. It was some expansion. I was really fed up of it because, yeah, I mean, like, come on, they properly milked, and there were players who played it, right? So it's just my perspective. I'm not a fan of like online stuff like that because it wasn't really, to me, it wasn't really interesting. There's like a whole bunch of like new cars, new bikes, new heists, and stuff like that. Not much story. Like I'm a very story guy, right? So not really too much story involved in it. But I know there are some elements, but yeah, it is what it is. Uh, but nonetheless, so what are our expectations for GTA 6, right? Um, so we know there are three cities, the three major cities in the 3D era, which is Liberty City, San Andreas, and the Vice City. So we had GTA 3 was essentially the first Liberty City game, and then we had Liberty City Stories, and then we had GTA 4, which is in the modern era, which was once again in Liberty City, and then we had pretty much Vice City and then Vice City Stories, and then we had San Andreas, and then GTA 5, which is like the modern era of San Andreas. So my expectation is that GTA 6. Now some people have said that it could be a new city, it could be, um, but my hope is that they go back to Vice City. So this will be the modern era trio. So 4, 5, and 6, the modern era trio. So basically all the modern versions of because we got to see like Liberty City. Okay, so Vice City was in the 80s. They properly hit the whole 80s vibe. Vice City Stories was still in the 80s, more like 70s, or maybe they're fiddling around in the 80s still. So that was like the proper back in the day vibes. And then I would say GTA 3 and Liberty City Stories was like the 2000s era, and then GTA 4 completely they showed us the modern versions, the 2014, the 2010 to 2020 era, right? And then GTA 5 also within the same era. So I'm really hoping that we get either like they really want to go back in time, but they can't really. Like, what are they going to call it? Like stories, like a proper 80s vibe. I wouldn't mind like a 80s vibe of San Andreas, but could you say San Andreas was? No, you can't say San Andreas was like that was definitely 90s. Yeah, San Andreas was definitely the 90s 2000s like that, right? So yeah, but my hope is that we get a modern era GTA 6, right? So basically because Vice City is based on Miami, Florida, that city, right? Predominantly on Miami. So I wouldn't mind seeing all the modernized versions of all the cars, like the Infernos and Cheetah and all that kind of stuff. The modern versions of all that in the Vice City setting. South Beach type setting. So um, yeah, I'm curious to see like Tommy Versity's house, the old base and stuff like that, all the old um, gimmicks from that game. Interested to see if this turns out to be Vice City. They need to They need to do some sort of a mission or a side mission or some kind of like bonus mission, like a throwback to that RC plane mission. If you guys remember, one of the most difficult missions in any GTA game by far. I think mainly due to like bad level design, right? I think apart from like the train chase with smoke in GTA San Andreas, that's also due to glitchy AI, obviously. And I think we actually played that level wrong, if I remember correctly. But yeah, the RC play mission. If you guys are not sure what I'm talking about, I'm gonna show it you guys right here. So I'm gonna open up a new tab. I'm gonna go to RC plane mission GTA Vice City right here. Yeah, this is the mission. My god, was it crazy. Yeah, shout out to A6OX for having this video. So this is the mission. You have to fight this plane and drop some bombs in this construction site, and this was bloody annoying. because like playing this on keyboard, I imagine if you're playing this on a controller, this would be easy, but on keyboard, because you don't have an analog stick to properly. This is actually some side stuff, but the actual mission you need to drop the bombs into the construction site. This was like controlling that plane was so hard, and the construction workers comes and beats up the plane. It's so difficult to get out of there, and the plane it has a very low health bar as well, right? It just quickly crashes, burns, and dies, and just blows up. So it was a properly annoying mission. So I hope they reintroduce it just to a throwback to that mission. But yeah, that's my only hope, right? I don't have anything else. I would like to see this go back to Vice City, and with that we get a modern Vice City, right? But even if it's a new city, I don't mind. So there was this video from IGN. They're going to discuss about everything that they know so far. So I'm going to check out this video as well and see what do they have.
Rumors, unthinkably massive data breaches, and even an FBI investigation. Co-founder and president of Rockstar Games Sam Houser posted on the studio blog and Twitter account on November 8th that the first trailer for the next Grand Theft Auto will be released in early December.
Okay, we
In
know
just
that.
a few hours, the tweet had nearly 100 million views, almost 500,000 retweets, and over 1 million likes. For an announcement of an announcement. But how did hype for the next entry in the vaunted series reach such a fever pitch? Let's take a look at everything we know about Grand Theft Auto 6. While we didn't get any actual details about GTA 6 until a report from Kotaku in 2020, there were murmurings more than a decade ago before GTA 5 was even released. Between bits and pieces like hypothetical comments from the newly departed former president of Rockstar North, Leslie Benzies, and
Jumped on not considering the interview comes as the Grand Theft Auto series celebrates its 10th anniversary in 2012. Rockstar is making landmark acquisition in the 80s. Okay, so this is
interviews with digital launch of Grand Theft, let alone how upset people would get with whatever we did. Dan Houser's probably 6 was Kotaku was prime increase in scope to help development was well underway. A that could be without coming straight from Rockstar were scope of Grand Theft Auto 6, claiming 2.
Rockstar Games cleaned up its frat boy culture. Oh, okay. This is all internal company issues.
5 months after the official claiming that it would start with one city, Miami, with more to be added later. But it also mentioned that map size may be traded for density, as this new entry contained more inside locations than any
Oh yeah. Now that they mention it, this is another thing that I've also remembered. So I remember in GTA 4, that is Nico Bellic, that's Liberty City, the modern Liberty City. There was a lot of what do you call it? So the map of the city was there, but there was a lot of internal structures, right? You could explore a lot of internal structures. You could go inside buildings, explore around buildings. There was a lot of internal traversal that was allowed, and that kind of like was missing in GTA 5, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember like having too many structures where you can just go inside and explore. So I kind of like missed that, knowing that you can go into buildings and explore buildings and from the inside. I wish they bring that back, that kind of like traversity within buildings. So like you get like internal maps and things like that. So it's so that you like it's not just a city, so you can have more exploration added, if that makes sense. I mean, like
GTA game previously.
Vice City is 24 characters.
Apparently in Clyde. This would be the first female protagonist in a GTA game since said
What?
to be
GTA 6 will reportedly feature a first female playable character and new cities over time. Okay, I didn't know this. When did they talk about this? That's interesting. GTA 6 will reportedly feature a first female playable character. Interesting. All right, and a new city and new cities over time. What do you mean new cities over time? Are they gonna like add new cities? Like that doesn't make any sense. New cities over time. Interesting. Oh, I wonder if you like get like multiple cities and you can just fly to them. Like you can't reach them. You just have to book a plane and fly to them or something, or fly with a plane. New cities over time. I'm guessing those are going to come through DLC. But what is the base city? The game will apparently feature 2 playable leads. Interesting. Influenced by Bonnie and Clyde. Alright, so it's going to be a male and a female protagonist. I mean, that makes sense, right? Because in GTA 5, they give you 3 protagonists which you can switch between. So, and I felt kind of like 3 was too much. Yes, yeah, but it was fine, right? It was nicely done. 2 is more manageable. I mean, 3, I guess 3 is alright. I don't know. I don't know why do I feel it was too much in GTA because GTA 5. No, I don't think 3. Yeah, you know what? You know, now that I think about it, 3 was alright. It wasn't too heck. It was too crazy. So yeah, 2 will be more than enough. But then again, it depends, right? So they're going for like a Bonnie and Clyde type of thing. Okay, so this is good. I mean, like first female, so that's a first. That's nice. First playable character. Okay, what else have we got?
Latina. If true, this would be the first female. Not much was mentioned about the male protagonist, but the female was said to be Latina.
The female is supposed to be Latina. Who are the other Latina females we know that from GTA? There are plenty. Could it be Catalina from San Andreas and then GTA 3? But Catalina died, right? Okay, so could be. Can't be her. And she would be old. Plus, she's crazy. She's crazy. If you guys remember who Catalina was.
If true, this would be the first female protagonist in a GTA game since the very first Grand Theft Auto, and the first overall in a full 3D GTA in the style we know. 2 be paying departing the studio and casting down.
Rockstar VP of Writing with credits and reportedly briefs as 16 years.
Out on the assumed release catastrophe.
This is on the company, man. What's on the game?
GTA Forums user Teapot Uber Hacker dropped 90 pieces of footage from the still unfinished project, as well as everything from combat to enemy behaviors and even fully voiced conversations.
It's a disaster.
The hacking group seemed to be tied to the Uber. It was made in July of this year in conjunction with
Now what?
advances in with the budget could be in GTA multiplayer network gaming community. So this could have big implications for the future of multiplayer GTA. But the patent's details also mention iteration of Ignore, and this hybrid iteration of Tom Schreier and VGC's Andy Robinson on Twitter. A lot can change by launching several ground.
Yeah, it's all about talking about mostly about the company and less about the game. Yeah, so basically they don't know jack shit as well. Other than the female leads, protagonists, that's about it, I guess. Well, there you have it. GTA 6. First trailer coming in December. Interesting. Cool. So yeah. We talked about Mk1, Alan Wake 2, GTA 6, and to cap it off, we're going to round off with the Game of the Year nominations. So the site was released a couple of days back with the nominations. And so when exactly? It's in December. I can't remember exact date. We can quickly check that out. Game of the Year awards. December 8, 2022. So it should be coming up soon, right? Oh wait, what am I doing? I'm on the side. They should have the date here. Votes casted. I need to sign in. I did cast my votes already. I'm not going to say who I voted to, but so these are the nominations for Game of the Year, and I've been saying it like throughout all my streams and throughout some of my previous videos. I've been saying, definite Game of the Years is going to be like nominations are going to be bold. So here's the nominations: like Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, surprise, like a big surprise there, Super Mario Brothers Wonder, and The Legend of Zelda. So I've always said that Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Legend of Zelda, right? I wasn't too sure about Alan Wake. I always was iffy, but I was like 100% certain Baldur's Gate 3, Spider-Man 2, and Zelda would make it. And I was 100% sure that Final Fantasy 16 would make it as a nomination, but it is not here. And Resident Evil 4 is. I can't believe that. I mean, like, the game is good, right? Don't get me wrong, but I have a feeling that this was nominated purely out of nostalgic purposes, right? Not just for the nostalgia, right? Because the game is good. It has improved a lot from what the original Resident Evil 4 was, but I felt at times it was a bit too gimmicky and yeah, I mean like I'm not sure how Resident Evil 4 made it, man. But if uh, if anyone's going to win this, I have a feeling it's going to be Baldur's Gate 3 because I have 100%. I have a feeling that Baldur's Gate 3 is going to take it because they delivered on a lot, right? So it's a release after a long time from the previous installment, and they delivered on a lot of things that people have been asking for. Is what I've seen. I haven't played the game personally, but I've seen a lot of gameplay and I've seen a lot of people like talking about it, and everyone is like satisfied with its release, right? There was no release day one patches or anything like that. It wasn't plagued by anything, no bugs, no groundbreaking bugs, at least that I've heard of. So it has a clear case to win, right? Baldur's Gate 3, it's got a very immersive story, immersive world, it's got everything. It checks all the boxes. So Baldur's Gate 3 is going to win it. But I really do hope that Spider-Man 2 has a chance because I really do. Superhero games generally don't win. And Spider-Man, I think the first Spider-Man was like the first superhero game to be nominated, right? Because I can't remember Batman. Because if I remember correctly, Batman, like the Arkham series, any of the Arkham series Batmans, I mean, they were Game of the Year category. I mean, Game of the Year. They had potential to be Game of the Year, but they were never nominated, if I remember correctly. So yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 will definitely win it. Spider-Man, but I'm hoping Spider-Man 2 has a chance because it was such a good game, such a good story, a lot of plot to it. I mean, like the game what the players wanted basically. Legend of Zelda also has a very high chance because Legend of Zelda will always be Legend of Zelda, right? It's got all this amazing, gameplay, story. I've seen a lot of gameplay. I've seen, but the creativeness of the community of Legend of Zelda is top notch. Super Mario Brothers Wonder. I haven't seen too much about it, so I'm not know too much. Alan Wake 2 will be playing it soon, so we'll get a feel for it and see whether it's actually Game of the Year material. So this is Game of the Year. What have we got next? What's the next category? I'm a bit sad that Final Fantasy wasn't there. I thought Final Fantasy was top notch. Like it just delivered on a really perfect story, amazing gameplay, amazing storytelling, amazing character development, amazing cast of characters. I thought voice acting was amazing. The fights were amazing, very well choreographed, very well animated. The visuals were amazing, and it's not there, and it's not even there in best game direction also. What? Once again, Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Spider-Man 2, Super Mario, basically all the Game of the Year nominations, minus Resident Evil 4. Right, so that's base game direction. Yeah, I mean, like any one of them. I mean, yeah, I think any one of them deserves a chance to win this. What's the next category? Best narrative. Finally, Final Fantasy 16. Oh, okay. This, I really wish Final Fantasy 16 would win this because I thought I haven't played Alan Wake 2. I haven't experienced the new Phantom Liberty of Cyberpunk as well, but I would like to. Phantom Liberty could be Cyberpunk's, their comeback from disgrace after the horrible Cyberpunk 2077 release, because they had a really good thing to work with. It's just that they've shipped out an unfinished product, like clearly an unfinished product. But Final Fantasy 16, the story in that was something else. Like it was breathtaking. I really hope Final Fantasy 16 wins this since they were they're not even a Game of the Year nominee, man. But I think some of these are like recency bias. They could be recency biased as well. But I don't know. Resident Evil 4 made it. Why not Final Fantasy 16? Sheesh. Best art direction. Hi-Fi Rush, Anime 2, Lies of P. Oh, Lies of P is also good. It's a Pinocchio, Dark Souls style in uh, the industrialized Victoria London stylish game. I think art style, not sure. I haven't seen Hi-Fi Rush, so I'm not can't exactly judge this. What else? Best score and music. Oh, I could only give cast my vote to Final Fantasy 16. That's not I played it, so that's I'm biased towards it. But I thought like, yeah, I can only imagine like how the scores and music is. The rest, can you imagine. Best audio design. Dead Space finally. Okay, Dead Space has a nomination as well. I think Dead Space could also win this as well because I thought the audio design was excellent. Like they properly made you feel like you were in a spaceship all by yourself. Like they gave had the proper audio designs to keep you on your toes every step of the way. Best performance: Minstar, Final Fantasy 16, Cameron Morgan, Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Oh, finally a nomination for Star Wars Jedi. I completely forgot Star Wars Jedi was released this year as well. Idris Elba, Phantom Liberty, Matt Labor, The Big 2, Neil Newborn, Baldur's Gate 3, Yuri Lowenthal, Spider-Man. I appreciate all their efforts. They make games what they are. Innovation in accessibility. Oh, Mk1 makes an appearance. Okay. Alright. Games for impact. Oh, so these are things that are addressing like social issues, global issues. So these are those games. I've seen the gameplay of Tachia. Thought that was quite interesting. It's all about, you know, nature. It's revolving around something about nature. Best ongoing: Apex Legends, Cyberpunk 2077, Final Fantasy 16, Fortnite, Genshin Impact. I mean, Genshin Impact has a chance to win this as well. Even though I stopped, like, playing Genshin Impact, mainly because I was like kind of burnt out playing the game. I thought it has good environment. It's currently in the city of Fontaine, the Hydro Nation, so it's doing all right. Best community support. No idea who could win this. I haven't exactly seen how the community. Best independent game. Sea Stars, Dredge, Day of the. These are like indie games. Find it. Should try and play this. Best debut indie game. Let's quickly skim through the best mobile game. Final Fantasy 8, Ever Crisis, Hello Kitty, Honkai Star Rail, Monster Hunter Now. Oh my god, Niantic. I really don't want Niantic to win this. They are a horrible company. A horrible company. It's a very horrible company, money minded, very toxic towards their community as well. I really don't want Niantic to win anything. Best VR, Gran Turismo 4, Horizon Call of the Mountain. Oh my god, Horizon Forbidden West doesn't have any nominations for anything? Not even for art direction? It was this year, right? It was this year. Yes, Forbidden West was this year. Wait, was it this year? Or did the DLC come out this year? A bit confused. I could be wrong. Sorry, I think that. Alright, yeah, sorry. The DLC came out this year. One of the game. Armored Core 6. Oh, I'm surprised Armored Core didn't have too much of a. Like, it had a lot of hype, but wasn't too much after the best action game. Oh no, but it is an action game. Yeah, so it makes sense. It's here. Dead Island 2. I didn't like Dead Island 2 at all. I thought Dead Island 1 was cool because it was the first of its kind. Best action adventure: Oh, just give it to Spider-Man, man. Give it to Spider-Man. Just give it to Spider-Man. Give it to Spider-Man. Best RPG, or just give it to Final Fantasy. I think it's a shame that it wasn't given Game of the Year nomination. Best fighting. Yeah, I'm just biased towards MK. But yeah, best family. I mean, I think Super Mario can easily take this. Best sim strategy. Company Heroes 3. And cities. I think City Skyline 2 is good. Best sports racing. I mean, I would give it to Forza. I think they. Best multiplayer. Best adaptation. Oh. Oh. Castlevania Nocturne. No, I didn't like it that much. I think the Super Mario Bros. Movie was good. Last of Us was definitely good. Gran Turismo, Twisted Metal, I haven't seen it yet, but I would give it to Last of Us or Super Mario Brothers. But I think Last of Us was also good. I think Last of Us has the chance to win it all because they kind of like filled in some pieces that were missing. They gave stories to some of the characters in the game that were not too relevant, some of the NPCs, and I thought that was a nice touch. We got to see some proper character development of some other NPCs. Most anticipated game: Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. These are games yet to come, right? Yeah, these are games yet to release. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I think that Hades is also good. Yeah, I think Hades or Final Fantasy. Content Creator of the Year. Iron Mouse, People Make Games, Quackity, Spreen, Cypher PK. I've heard of Cypher PK, but the rest I have not heard of. Best esports game: Counter-Strike 2, Dota 2, League of Legends, PUBG, Valorant. These are like static, man. These things have been like these things have been dominating esports. No, Rainbow Six. Well, best esports at least. Faker, Zoo, Demon Run, Hydra, Ruler, Imperial Hall. I mean, I think could be Faker. He's about to win Worlds. Did he win Worlds already? Is a match over? I can't even. I'm not sure. Evil Genius, Fnatic, Gaming Gladiators, GD, Team Vitality. Jeez, how many more categories? Best esports coach. Photozonic. Okay. Best esports event. I mean, they all have. That's the last category. Fine. They all have reasons to win it. I mean, like, these are all good, big major events. So yeah. So yeah, that was a bit of a long video, almost like 40 minutes. So there you have it. Mk1, Alan Wake 2, the new. We talked about the new. We talked about the new GTA 6 trailer, and then Game of the Year nominations. So there you have it. That's what's gonna happen. I don't think we have any new releases coming at the end of this year as well. So this is pretty much closing it for 2023 in the world of gaming. Guess all we can do is just look forward to what's coming in 2024, starting with I think there's a game. Something is dropping in February, if I remember correctly. Can't remember what, but I remember there was a release in February. So that's what we have to look forward to for now, I guess. So stay tuned. I'll be playing Alan Wake soon. I'll be live streaming Alan Wake soon, so that we can get to experience it firsthand. So yeah, I do appreciate your continued support. Do like, share, subscribe, and turn on notifications if you enjoy my content. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.